Okay, we are live now. Alright, let's rock and roll. We are on the VATSIM network. We're doing friendly 807 from Imperial County to Los Angeles. Alright, the low pressure light is off, and we got the aux pump light on and no fuel flow. Go ahead and engage the starter. Got oil pressure increase and G's increasing as well. We want a minimum of 12%. Stable. Let's add the low idle here on the fuel condition lever. Now we look at fuel flow, ITTs increasing as well. Not to exceed 1090. Minimum 52 right there, stable. And fuel flow within 90 and 120. Starter off, fuel boost pumps. Norm. Standby power, avionics on, flaps 20. Flight control check. Imperial County and Victor 5458. India Papa Lima. Imperial, accept, it's the right one. We're doing the Victor 458. Go to Nick and Kakumba. Nickk. After Kumba, direct to Julian for the Vista arrival into LAX. LAX. There we go. Procedure. Select arrival. The Vista arrival. Vista 3 Julian transition. Load. Alright, we got Imperial, County Airport, Imperial, VOR, Nick, Koopa, and Julian, Vista, Cindy, Oceanside, Chivy, Seaward, Bayer, Maddow, and Tozek and Seal Beach, LAX. Look at the approach set up as we get a little closer. Plan to depart off of runway 8. Winds here in Imperial County is 030 at 6. Haze, clear skies 2974. We have that set. And Actually, we're going to do runway 26 for departure, not runway 8. So the taxi route today, runway 32 is closed, so we'll turn left on Alpha, taxi down to Alpha 7, cross 32 at Alpha 7 onto Bravo 7, right on Bravo, right turn on Bravo 4, 4,500 feet available for takeoff on runway 26. Plan a left turn out to direct to Imperial VOR. And we'll climb up to 8,000 feet. So if we go direct to Imperial, oops, or direct Imperial, that'd be 137. Right there. And we'll climb out to 350, call 360 feet, and we'll make a left turn out. Let's go ahead and set up our altitude. We'll plan heading. Okay, alright, let's run the checklist after start checklist. Engine instruments in the green. Starter off, inverter. Not applicable, boost pump norm. Standby power on, avionics number 2 on, suction gauge in the green, or check. Trim tabs set 3 ways. Inertial separator normal, AC heat defrost off, flight plan verified, flight ID verified, lights set. Brakes released, and we'll plan a brakes check here. We'll do the taxi checklist. Right brake both. Alright. Taxi checklist. So brakes checked. Anti-air panel appropriate. Fuel selectors both on. Flaps 20 degrees set and indicating, or indicated, set and indicated. Prop lever max. Flight instruments checked, set, and radios checked, set. Actually, we need to set that. CTAF here is 2270 or 22.7. There it is. Cool. And takeoff briefing, we'll call it good. Just climb out straight to 360 feet, left turn direct to Imperial County up to 8,000. If we have any abnormals, engine failure on takeoff, we'll retard the throttles, go into beta, and we'll stop on the runway. If we have an engine failure after takeoff, we'll land on the runway dead ahead. If we don't have any left, straight ahead, 30 degrees left or right is our options there. Probably put it out in the dirt somewhere. At or above 1,000 feet, I'm comfortable making a left turn back to the airport. We'll do 180, come back in, get the prop feathered, and land. So, alright. Cool, let's go. Imperial County traffic friendly 807 taxiing to runway 26, Imperial County. Right now we're on Alpha, we'll make a right turn on Alpha 7, cross 32 onto Bravo 7, right on Bravo. Imperial County traffic friendly 807 crossing runway 32 at Alpha 7, Imperial County. Alright, clear left. And we're clear on the right as well. Okay, right turn on Bravo, continue on Bravo, and a right turn on Bravo 4 for runway 26 full length. Looks like another Caravan there. Alright, before takeoff checklist, correct runway. Right here, verified runway 26. Contamination check, aircraft clean. And flight controls free, full standby power is on. Ignition is norm, non-stator panel appropriate. Fuel condition lever is high idle, inertial separator, normal lights. On, heat is off, before takeoff checklist complete, finals clear. Let's go. Imperial County traffic friendly 807 departing runway 26, departure to the south, Imperial County. Set takeoff power. Takeoff power set. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Engine instruments in the green. Three sticks, you start left turn. Left 10 degrees. Flaps up, climb check. We'll wait on the autopilot just for a second. Alright, autopilot. Alright, after takeoff, climb checklist, flaps up, indicating lights. Set. TAS on, yaw damper as required, heats off. After takeoff, climb check is complete. Adios, Imperial County. Alright, direct enter. Imperial County nav. Alright, let's transition to cruise climb here. Go. Alright, cruise climb, we're doing 120. And pretty much we'll just keep the power torque at just below red line as we climb up a little higher. ITTs will be a little bit more. Something that we got to look at is ITTs more as we climb up. No more than 765 on the ITTs in the climb. Let's do 900 feet per minute. Feet per minute. Power for the torque. 260 and 11 seconds. Alright, we're over Imperial County, EOR. Okay. Now we're on the airway. We're about to be on the airway to Victor 48 or 458. There's a little airport over here called Calexico. And then right here is Mexico, right here. That's the border. And I think this is the 8 freeway. Yes, it is. That freeway will take you all the way to San Diego. After Nick, we'll do a little bit of a shortcut and we'll go direct to Julian. We'll delete Cumba. Let's reduce the climb rate down to about 800 feet per minute. Increase the power. But remember, as we climb, we're about to cross through 5,000. No more than 765. So right there for just below red line, 246. We're almost to the limit there for climb. Max cruise is going to be 740, which is in the green right there. So once we get to 8,000, we'll actually have to reduce the power to stay within the green. Everything's looking pretty good though, as engine instruments. Once we get up to 8,000, we'll do our cruise checklist and we'll cruise along to LAX. Add a little bit more power here, which that puts us basically right, that's the limit right there basically. So we can't increase it anymore. Because of the limitations of the ITT and cruise, or sorry, and climb. So far. So you see how the torque is reducing now as we climb. but we are not going to increase the power to below red line because of the limits here. The 765 degree limit on the ITT per climb. And we're approaching 7,000 now, so almost 8,000, and then we'll actually reduce the power back to the green band there of 740 ITT. Increase our climb rate 900 feet per minute. And we're approaching Nick, about 1.6 to Nick, and then we'll make a right turn direct to Julian, VOR. $7,000 climbing, 8,000. Here we go, it says 286 in 6 seconds. So I can anticipate that here, 286. There's our new course, airplane starts turning to the right. Reduce our climb rate. We'll do 700 feet per minute. And we'll actually make sure we arm this, because I didn't arm it initially, so we want to make sure it's armed so that way the autopilot actually levels off at 8,000 feet, which is the pre-selected altitude that I've chosen in here. 8,000 is a good cruising altitude. It's above the highest MEA on this route, so 8,000 is a good choice. 10,000 would be fine as well, but we chose 8,000. That's more of the in line with the unpressurized Caravan cruising altitudes for this route. Approaching 8,000. As the airplane levels off, I'm going to reduce the power here in a couple seconds as we get stable into the as we level off at 8,000. Alright, here we go. Now I'm going to reduce the power lever to make sure we're in the green for the ITT. About right there is perfect. Now we have our power set for cruise. So cruise checklist, power set, engine instruments in the green, heats off, fuel balance. Here's our fuel. Checked, and air conditioning is off, cruise checklist complete. We got about 46 miles until Julian, going 163 knots ground speed. And we're going to plan on doing the Vista 3 arrival, and we'll probably land on 25 right. And I know at this time they normally land on 6 right, but we're just, for the sake of the sim, we're just going to land on runway 25 right. Unless we are going to be conflicting with other traffic, and of course we'll adhere to the flow of traffic. But Los Angeles 8 is Charlie, is current 070 at 4, 8 statute mile visibility, fuel clouds 25,000 feet, temperature 182.17, altimeter 293. And it looks like ILS 25 right is in Houston, so that's perfect. So we'll either plan on that, or we will plan on the RNAV 25 right, probably from an initial approach fix near Seal Beach, VOR, which would be probably Tornado. That works. RNAV Yankee Tornado, that also works. LPVDA, that's great. I like the RNAVs. I prefer the RNAVs actually. So I think we'll plan on that. RNAV Yankee 25 right Tornado transition. So we'll actually put that into the GPS procedure, and we'll select approach. There we go, RNAV Yankee 25 right. There it is, enter, go down to Tornado. There it is, and we're just going to load it. Load. And we we can cross-check all the fixes in the GPS to make sure that they match what's on the approach chart. So tornado, shell, fogla, ribby, and 25 right. The missed approach basically straight out to Zemru and then to Cap. That's all perfect. Aero Mexico is just ahead of us. Aero Mexico 698. They're somewhere above us, ahead of us. There they are. See them? There's Aero Mexico 698. I think they are flying in from, let's see. They're going from Mexico City to San Francisco. Very cool. Alright, I'm going to brief the arrival into Los Angeles really quickly with a Jeppesen chart on, off screen. Alright, Vista 3 arrival. Alright, Julian at or below 240. We're not a turbojet. So Julian, Vista, Oceanside, everything looks good in there actually. There's no altitude restrictions for turboprops. So I'll consider it briefed because we already briefed all the fixes. There's no altitude restrictions. The only altitude restrictions on the Vista arrival is for turbojet aircraft. Up at like Julian, for example, at or below flight level 240, Sydney at 14,000, Bayer at 10,000, Bordeaux at 7,000, and so on. Yeah, I won't stay on the comms here just because we have I think we have like 45 minutes till we touch down, so I'm gonna probably put the headset down and I'll just keep checking and monitoring every couple minutes. Appreciate you guys joining us. I'll do is I'll get the approach brief up and yeah. Alright, we got the Los Angeles, California RNAV GPS Yankee runway 25 right. Got a valid plate until August 7th. Perfect. Final approach course 251. Touchdown zone elevation 104. And with a landing distance of 11,134 feet available. No significant remarks. Tornado at 5,000. Shell at above 37. Fog at above 19. 3-degree path down to that DA of 304. Expect to see a PAPI on the left side of the runway. Also, approach lighting system. The event of a go-around will fly the published MR as directed by the tower published MIST climb straight out to Zimru, maintain 2,000, then fly a 188 track to Catly. Nice long runway. We'll plan to turn right off the runway on Golf, right turn on to Charlie, left on Charlie 4, left on Charlie, and right on Charlie 5 into the ramp. And we'll call it a night after that. Sounds like a plan. Descent checklist, altimeters. Let's get the current ATIS. I've got ATIS Echo 2993. About right there. Perfect. 1004, 900 miles, statute 900 statute miles, visibility to clouds 900 view at 25,000. Still the same NOTAMs, taxiway closures, runway, expected runways. We'll call it good. Descent checklist, altimeters 2993, set, cross-check heats off, seatbelts, shoulder hunters on, radios checked, set, pressure briefing completed, descent checklist complete. After Seal Beach, we'll be direct to Tornado. Starting descent down to 5,000 feet. Okay, let's descend down to 5,000, and we'll be activating the approach here shortly after crossing Seal Beach. Slowed down so we don't pass the red line here on the airspeed indicator. Alright, so prop, chart, activate approach, Tornado. 327. 327. There it is. Perfect. Thousand feet a minute. LAX traffic friendly 807, 18 miles to the southeast, maneuvering for the RNAV Yankee 25 right approach LAX. Airport side. We're basically on a left base for 25 right. There's the 91 right here and the 105 freeway right here. But this might be the 710 right here. Or is this the 710 over here? Not sure. 6,000 descending to 5,000. before landing checklist. Fuel selectors both on. Prop lever max, radar off, ignition norm. Lights set, flaps set up and indicating. Autopilot yaw damper will turn it off here. Once we get a little closer in landing clearance, we'll call it received, runway 25 right before landing checklist complete. Alright, 319er. Coming up over the 105 freeway right here. The 605 is just below us to the right. About right here. There it is. There's the freeway. Then you have the 5 right here. That goes into downtown LA. And you can see that cluster over there. That's the cluster between the 710 B5 and the 60 up north. And as soon as we cross Shell and join final, we'll come up over the LA River straight in for 25 right. Alright, let's descend down to 3,700. I'm over here sightseeing, not even paying attention. 3,700. Arm. 1,000 feet a minute. 251 in 6 seconds. 251. 251 set. Confirmed. Joining final. LPV. Runway side. Let's get down to 1,900. $1,900. LA traffic friendly 807, 10 mile final, runway 25 right LA. Let's descend a little quicker because we're high on path. 1,500 feet per minute for now. Yes, sir, we are going to butter it indeed. Or we're going to try to butter it. No promises. Alright, so it looks like we got 3 white, 1 red. I'm happy with that. About a 3 mile final, that's when I'll go ahead and cut the power. And we'll get it slowed, we'll plan a flaps 20 landing. LA traffic friendly 807 is on a 6 mile final, runway 25 right LA. Hey, go get them, coppers. Look at those cops down there. $1,900. Approach mode. Let's see if we can get this captured. I doubt it. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the autopilot off. Autopilot is disconnected. Once we are abeam the Sophie Stadium, then I'll go ahead and cut the power. reducing power now so we don't pass the red line. Alright, there's Sophie. Almost there. Alright, let's cut the power. LA traffic friendly 807 is on 2 mile final, 25 right hilly. Flaps 10 degrees. Flaps 20. And we'll shoot for 95 over the numbers. Alright, we're on the ground. Alright, turn on and go. Flaps up. Inertial separator, standby power, lights. LA traffic friendly 807 is clear of runway 25 right LA. Alright, low idle on the fuel condition lever. Make a left turn here on Charlie 4, then a left turn on Charlie. I see you, fam. I'll make a left turn on a Charlie here. And we're Southern parks their planes over here somewhere, so I'm gonna see if I can look for it. I don't think I've been over here in the sim, on this side of the ramp anyway. But it's somewhere over here. I'm keeping the landing lights on just for now so I can have a little bit better visibility. Okay, here we go. I think... No, I'm not in the right area. I think it's over here. It's like on the other side of this. At least it was. Ah, that's alright. Let's follow the service road around the corner here. Here we go. Go short of the movement area. Okay, I'll set the parking brake. Shut down, I'll be prop lever, feather it. Make sure the starter is off and the fuel boost pump is off. And we'll shut down the fuel condition lever all the way to idle. Avionics off as well. And that is the way the cookie crumbles. I think I'll do a return flight tomorrow sometime. Not tonight, just because or this morning, because I'm way too tired. But that was fun. Appreciate you guys joining us. Nice little view of LAX here. There's the terminal and everything. Terminal 8, 7654. There's T-bit over here on the North Complex. Here's all the hotels right here. United Maintenance Hangar. But cool. Hey, thanks for the compliment, man. It was actually one of my better landings on the Caravan in the sim so far. But normally my landings are trash, but I'll take that as a win for sure. But let's get this all squared away, and the back door will open right there. Cool. Alright guys, thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.